Keep an eye out in the afternoon for scattered showers and thunderstorms as a cold front pushes through. A couple of those could be on the strong or even severe side, and a pop-up thunderstorm chance for our Wednesday. Then we're dry and hot, low 90s. We headed to the 4th of July weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Happy Tuesday, my friend. How are you? We are coming in here hot and silly, talking before the show came on all kinds of crazy things. But Reese is on board with us having a 2-hour community-centered special on some hot topics. So,
absolutely.
What's going on in your world?
Well, happy Canada Day.
Oh, yay, Canada. Yeah. Oh, Canada. Yay. Duh. Okay. All right, then. And that makes me feel instantly cooler. It feels like Canada in this studio, but we want it that way.
That's right.
We were looking forward to coming in here. Well, I have had a crazy busy morning running from pillar to post. First thing this morning, I did a little presentation at a corporation here called B Checks. And professionally, what they do is they run background checks and do investigations. Okay. A company located in Huntersville, they have for the last quarter been supporting the Hope House with donations towards the new builds, things like shower curtains, bathroom rugs, blind, really lovely. And so today they asked if I would come and make a presentation to the company. And I am way too old, like for this millennial amazing company that has a gym in the office and has, a band and just crazy wild stuff. I made this presentation. I think, Reese, you have a picture of them presenting me with a small check and lovely their donations. So they were lovely people that have a whole lot of energy and enthusiasm. And I just wanted to give a shout out. Apparently they do all of the background checks for all the schools. They have they had people live on here from Dubai and Singapore. Like, it was wild. So that's how my morning started without caffeine. And then I made a little trip over to Denver, and I don't know if you know about a place called Amy's Closet. Amy's Closet is on Route 16 in Denver, and they take donated clothes and jewelry and shoes and handbags and whatever else, and they sell it, and their mission supports Amy's House, which is a domestic violence house in a confidential location located in Lincolnton. We know a shared individual who went there. And today, their entire stores take 50% off. But I want you to go sometime and check it out because it's set up like a boutique.
I have some clothes in the back of my car I was going to give you, but maybe I'll give it
You
to
should
them.
take them there. The money generated supports their mission and helps them do extra things and operationally addresses their mission. Lovely the way the store is set up like a boutique, and everything is just really lovely in there. So if you're listening and you're thinking about where can you bring your better quality high-end things, Amy's Boutique in Denver is a wonderful place to go and also shop there. Today it was...
Is it Amy's Closet or Amy's
Boutique?
Closet.
Amy's Closet Boutique. And today it was, and I believe the rest of this week, 50% off the entire store.
Oh my gosh.
It is your kind of thing. I think you would really enjoy going there, and you'd be supporting a mission and also advocating for domestic violence. So
I'll take my clothes there.
I think you should. And in the meantime, I want to talk about your fabulous blingy bracelets that you're wearing.
I know.
That, speaking of boutiques, I think you got here locally.
I did at Nina's Boutique.
Nina's Boutique. They are exquisite, and I don't know if Reese can get a shot on them, but hold up your hand. Like, they're just really, really lovely and blingy and sparkly. And I'm like a firefly to sparkle. It just has to come to me and be a part of me. And it's just,
I just added it to my collection.
girl, leave them with something to talk about. You look fabulous, that's for sure. But
Well, and then I got this at Coco Couture.
okay, then you are head to toe one
Yeah.
fabulous woman, that's for sure, and who apparently has a few secrets that we could do a whole show on. So we're gonna.
Well, you know what I feel about big rings. If you've got big hips, you got to balance them. So
Girl.
the rings do it.
I feel the same about hair. The higher the hair, the closer to heaven, and then people aren't looking at your behind. So you go with your big hair, right?
And the color I dye my hair. I had one man take me out for lunch.
Oh, do
And-
tell.
Oh, this was years ago, and he said, "I have to ask you, what color do you dye your hair?" And I said, "Oh, that's easy. It's called stress gray." He spent the afternoon going everywhere trying to find. I said, "My son just broke his neck. I'm going through a divorce."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "It's natural. It's
Oh,
called stress gray."
That's right. Goodness
He
gracious.
said, "So you don't dye it?" And I said, "No."
It comes naturally.
Yeah.
It's sure stress will do that to you. Well, I am super excited about our guest today. I've been wanting to chat with her for a while and learn more about her mission and what she does. They are a valuable, valuable resource in our community, and we're going to learn more about that after break
Yes.
on what they do. But I know, in the field that I'm in, we get a lot of calls from people who are pregnant and homeless, and that it's not bad enough that you're homeless, but to be pregnant on top of
Oh,
it
I just
is
can't
just
imagine.
heartbreaking
Yeah.
to me. So I hope that we can make a better connection here and be able to work together a little bit more on some of the resources that they have available.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to learn about that and see how we can partner together.
Truly, she's living her passion.
Mm.
And I love it. When I first started talking to Tracy, you could just hear in her voice how much she loved what she was doing.
Hmm.
And
It's interesting. I was talking to Jessica Tucker yesterday, Executive Director of Angels and Sparrows, and she was saying that. She said there are those of us in this non-for-profit world
yes,
that truly eat, drink, and sleep our mission and wake up wheels spinning. Like, what can I do today? She said, I'm not going to end food insecurity as an executive director of a food, resource, and you're not going to end homelessness. But we're doing the best that we can
That's
every
right.
day
That's right.
and going after the one person that we can help in this process. And so, speaking of that, I just want to give a little victory dance today that we have 3 cottages on our property, Faith, Joy, and Grace, and all 3 are moving out at the same time.
Oh, my
Never
gosh.
happened before. One became a nurse. She is now an RN.
Oh, you must be so
she,
proud.
She took the 2 years to become an RN. One became an auto mechanic, and she is moving out with a fabulous career ahead of her. And the other is working in the daycare field in a local non-for-profit daycare that we know about. And she's on her way. So we'll be filling those back up with 3 more families. But man, that feels good.
Doesn't it?
It feels really
And
good.
your pictures are in the mail.
Yeah, absolutely. And to know that those 3 families had an opportunity to transform their lives, and it happened, and that soon we'll be opening the doors of the 2 other new builds for more
That
families.
must be
So
the biggest payment you can get.
to me, it's like, well done. You can breathe again.
Yes.
You've made a difference. So delighted that happened to us. So we're going to get ready to go on break here shortly. As
Well,
always,
that just flew by.
the time always flies. So heads up to our guests that this is we're a chit-chatty group here at Community Centered, and we want to give a shout out to the McIntosh Law Firm for the sponsorship and for the support that he always gives to our community.
Yes.
So stay with us. You are going to want to listen to Tracy Lister, what she has to say, and learn all about her fabulous nonprofit and her book when we come back here on Community Centered.
Good news lives here. It's Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, just in time for the 4th of July weekend, our weather going to shift to a drier pattern. In the meantime, still some hurdles to jump over. For our Tuesday, we're partly cloudy, warming up into the low 90s. But we'll keep an eye out in the afternoon for scattered showers and thunderstorms. The cold front pushes through. A couple of those could be on the strong or even severe side, and a pop-up thunderstorm chance for our Wednesday. Then we're dry and hot, low 90s. We headed to the 4th of July weekend. That's your forecast. The WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. The Exchange Club of Mooresville presents the annual Field of Flags this week, Tuesday through Saturday at Lowe's YMCA. The field commemorates our veterans, service members, and first responders. The summer celebration featuring a ceremony, a concert by area favorite Blue Monday, and fireworks will be held on Thursday, July 3rd. Flags are on sale now. Visit MooresvilleLKNExchange.org to make your purchase and for more information about the Field of Flags and the summer celebration Thursday at Lowe's YMCA in Mooresville. Run White and Blue is a run hosted in Huntersville on Friday. There are different options, including 7.4 kilometers, 7.4 miles, and a fun run. The race begins at 7:30 a.m. Visit runsignup.com for details. Friday, July 4th is the annual celebration at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. The event begins at 10 a.m. and features a bike parade around the Birkdale Commons Parkway. Then enjoy the Wet Down by the Huntersville Fire Department. And a block party with exciting activities follows. We'll see you on Friday for the 4th of July in the village. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday with a performance by Walter Finley. Finley offers a soulful rhythm with his smooth vocals in his 6 p.m. show. Visit the 500 Club online for more information on Walter Finley, food, beverages, and tea times. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is at Charlotte Motor Speedway for race number 7 on Tuesday, July 9th. Come celebrate Lugnut's birthday. Bring Lugnut a toy donation and get in free. Click on charlottemotorspeedway.com for more information on the Summer Shootout and other 2025 events. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshlawfirm.com.
Real people making a real impact. The McIntosh Law Firm brings you community centered right here on WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back. We have an exciting show for you. But before I introduce our guest, I would like to encourage you to have, if you have a call-in or a question, please, it's 844-STUDIO-4. We always love to hear from you. And now it is my pleasure and honor to introduce Tracy Lester, Executive Director of the Community Pregnancy Center of Lake Norman. What is your mission? How did you get started? And God bless you.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you for the invitation to both of you. And I'm just so impressed with what you're doing and just highlighting the community services and, but a little bit about the pregnancy center and maybe starting of how I got started. I have been in the ministry over 30 years now. I'm originally from Los Angeles area. And, I was just a young 20-something. I was a mom of 2 young children, and my faith is very important to me. And I remember just praying, Lord, how can I serve you? And this wasn't even on my radar, but I heard about it and I thought, this is it. I'll start volunteering. And I think that's how so many of us, right? Get involved. And so I started out as a volunteer. The Lord just continued to open doors. And I have to say, it stole my heart the day that I started and has not let go. And you are right when you said it's my passion.
Yeah.
I pinch myself every day that I get to do what I do and work with the most amazing women. We have an amazing team, but the pregnancy center was initially kind of founded with a testimony. One of the co-founders had an abortion at age 15.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and
I can't even imagine.
yeah, and she felt, although her family loved her very much, that a bit pressured to have this abortion, and she later in her life thought, I want to go and tell others. So, I mean, she just really dealt with it. Was a very deep wound for her. She did find healing. And then with that healing, I wanted to go and, establish a place where women can find the support. And so it's opened in 1985. It was founded 40 years. We celebrated this year. But Jean Mims was our co-founder, and she just retired as director. And so, although I've worked alongside of her for 28 years, I stepped into her position, and again, it's just a privilege.
And you're an author. I love. Reese, if you can put up the book, it's on Amazon, Teaching the Birds and the Bees Without the Butterflies. I absolutely love that. So tell us a little bit about that.
So when I started, again, something that the center does, I'll kind of tell you, we initially opened up to offer free pregnancy tests and counseling and options counseling. But we thought, okay, how can we prevent some of these crisis pregnancies before they happen? So we started an abstinence, going into the schools back then. It was I think it was under George W. Bush. That's how long ago it was. It was teaching abstinence until marriage in the school. So we jumped in and we were invited into the schools. Well, there was a part of me, I loved being able to talk to these young people, but there was a part of me that's like, they got it for the time that we had. They really received the message. It really resonated with them. But I thought there's something missing in this whole message, and it's parents.
Yes.
And how can we shape those sexual values before they kind of encounter some of the pressures. So I initially wrote kind of a presentation for parents of teenagers. And I thought, why am I not loving doing this? And I thought, it's because when you're talking to kids about sex when they're teenagers, you generally have to erase a lot of what they already know. You have to rewrite it. And, and so I thought, okay, we need to get to these young children before puberty, really.
Yeah.
And so the book is a fun book. It is meant to, with great dialogues and actually how to have the talk at an age-appropriate level and starting when they're young. And it's kind of a story that builds on itself. So it's for parents of young children. And it's just very practical. And it's a friend talking to a friend.
And I think
It's awesome.
Yes.
hitting the parents with that,
Yes.
what a good tool.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can remember as a parent sitting down and I was remembering how my mother approached it with me, and it was just, it was not good. And I got to do a better job because
I say my mom still hasn't had the talk with me.
I can remember the nightmare when my son was in 5th grade. The school said, we're going to teach them the science, this is that, but we're not going to tell them how the sperm and the egg meet. And I was like, oh, why not? And they said, because there's so many different values and cultures and religions. And the psychiatrist said, well, and we're going to suggest that you wait for them to ask. And I'm kept looking at my wall, when is he going to ask me?
Yeah.
And so one day in our pool, he's spitting pool water out through his little gap teeth. And he's like, I understand this now. I got this figured out. The sperm and the eggs, I swallow it. It spits. And I was like, not quite.
no.
This is what really happens. And he said to me, that is the most disgusting
That's what my grandson said.
thing. And I was like, well, the school's missing out here on an opportunity to educate. There's a difference. There's a difference between advocating, educating, empowering, and giving knowledge in the right way. So kudos to you. And where were you 30 years ago?
Right. I remember when I talked with my son, and he's like, wait a minute, you have 4 kids. You've done this 4 times?
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yes, well,
my
thank you. I
gosh.
do. It's because I've assumed the position of executive director. I do less of the seminars on this, but it is still.
So where are you located, and how can people get a hold of you?
So we have 2 locations, and we have a mobile unit.
Okay.
So we have we established in Mooresville at the time, 1985. And so currently we're on near Alino's Pizza across the street. Most people know Alino's, the old mill. And so we're at 212 Caldwell Avenue in Mooresville. And initially our name was the Community Pregnancy Center of Mooresville. But we realized we were seeing a lot of clients that were not just in Mooresville, they were from the Lake Norman area. There's not a pregnancy center from, Mooresville to Uptown. There's nothing in between. So we initially opened our Huntersville location. I guess it's been about 6-7 years ago, and that kind of just has allowed us to serve more of the Lake Norman community.
Yeah.
And then our mobile unit, we are able to take our services out into the community, offering free pregnancy tests and ultrasounds.
I believe you're located right next to Lydia's Loft in Huntersville.
In Huntersville, yes. Thank you.
Oh,
Yes, I'm
yes.
sorry. Yes. So exactly. Yes, right next.
And
to
is it a ministry of the First Baptist Church?
Lydia's is, but
you aren't.
we are not.
Okay.
No, we're governed by a board of directors, and we're a separate.
Okay,
ministry.
but you're like almost exactly right next door.
We are
You're
right
in
next door.
between.
We even share a sidewalk. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's amazing.
Okay. So how would they what's the best way to get a hold of you?
So, well, we have a website for any client. Generally, when a client searches pregnancy help, abortion alternatives, we have a Google ad that comes up. So that's initially how a client will find us, is they will, click call now. And very often they mistakenly think we do abortions. We're very upfront about what we do and what we don't do. We let them know we don't provide or refer for abortions, but we do have free services that could be of help for them if they're kind of in that in-between space, or if they're, considering it and they want a free service that will give them more information about their pregnancy. So those phone calls we're able to take. So generally most find us from just a Google search. So yeah, that's that. And then from there, we're able to direct them to their closest location.
Okay. That must be terrifying.
I think that, when a woman walks through our door, she's carrying more than a baby.
Yes.
She's carrying fear. She's carrying
Weight of the world.
uncertainty about her future. She's carrying pressure. And, we designed our centers to be safe places. It's very welcoming. It's very warm, but very professional. Both centers are. And immediately, our goal is when she walks in, she can press pause on her crisis just for a little bit, kind of taking her out of panic mode,
Yes.
And just kind of offering, these services that we have, the support, kind of identifying what are the obstacles that you're facing? What are your fears? How can we help you with that? And
it sounds like you're providing respite in a way. They come in, and I can just imagine how overwhelming it must feel. And so what a wonderful resource and valuable thing you're doing for our community to have you with us. So we're getting ready to go on break again. Time is flying.
That did go by fast.
It goes so quickly. When we come back, we're going to dive in a little bit deeper with you about the Pregnancy Resource Center. And if you have a call, like Margi said, 844-STUDIO-4, or we can give you the contact if you have a confidential information that you would like, you can talk about that, and we'd be happy to take your calls. I don't know if I would have the answers, but I'm going to refer to the expert
I think we
here.
have somebody who might.
Yes, absolutely. So when we get back, you're listening to Community Centered here with Margi Kyle and Debbie O'Hanley.
Good news lives here. It's Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, just in time for the 4th of July weekend, our weather going to shift to a drier pattern. In the meantime, still some hurdles to jump over. For our Tuesday, we're partly cloudy, warming up into the low 90s, but we'll keep an eye out in the afternoon for scattered showers and thunderstorms. The cold front pushes through. A couple of those could be on the strong or even severe side, and a pop-up thunderstorm chance for our Wednesday. Then we're dry and hot, low 90s. We head into the 4th of July weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Welcome home to Comfort. Family-owned, community-focused, Horn Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to have served our community for over 40 years. We treat you as family because you are family. Your comfort is our business. Visit hornhvac.com today.
Take your life by the reins and let the horses at Willow Equine heal and empower you. Located in Mooresville, our services help with trauma, anxiety, depression, and addiction. Love life again. Visit willowequine.com today.
Make a splash this summer with the Harbor Hippos. Opening day is May 30th, and it's going to be a blast. Season, group, or single tickets are now available. Join us at Huntersville Athletic Park. Get all the details at www.harborhippos.com. It's time to play ball.
Kane Center for the Arts. We're more than a venue. We're the heart of creativity in the Lake Norman region, bringing exceptional visual arts, performing arts, and unforgettable gallery experiences to our community. Discover the difference. kanearts.org.
Lowry Drug is a source for excellent pharmacy services. We have served the Statesville community since 1959. We have attentive customer service, a state-of-the-art compounding laboratory, and the Dispill medication packaging system that takes the work out of medication management for those using medication planners. We do it for you. Come see us at Lowry Drug in Statesville. Call 704-873-2247. Come see us.
Special buy Randy Marion Chevrolet of Statesville and Randy Marion Chevrolet of Mooresville 2024 brand new Chevrolet Malibus. These are the LTs starting at $19,988. That's right, $19,988 brand new. Not a pre-owned car. Malibus starting at $19,988. That's right, Statesville Chevy, Mooresville Chevy. Come see us today. Pick the color, drive it home. You got it. King of price, king of deals. Randy Marion Chevrolet of Statesville, Randy Marion Mooresville.
Nothing but the best talk.
The area's best talk.
WSIC.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says we may not have seen the impact of tariffs yet, but he does expect we will see it in inflation data in coming months. He says the central bank expects to see some higher inflation readings this summer, and he did not rule out an interest rate cut in July. Economic concerns are apparently resulting in consumers putting the brakes on buying a car. After a springtime surge, auto sales are losing momentum, with J.D. Power saying the annual selling rate is down to the slowest pace in the last 12 months. The high cost of cars is also an impediment. Edmunds reports nearly 1 in 5 buyers took on loans with monthly payments of $1,000 or more. McDonald's is out today with new Little McDonald's Happy Meals. They come with miniature figurines. There are 21 of them, including small versions of a checkout register, food trays, French fries, and soft drink machine. The Dow is up 1%, the S&P down a fraction, the NASDAQ down 0.5%. I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
It ain't easy being number one, but we make it look good.
WSIC.
Shining a light on who's making a difference. It's Community Centered, hosted by Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back. We are certainly shining a light on Tracy Lester today, but I understand, Reese, we have a caller who waited throughout the break. So caller, go ahead.
Well, hey guys, this is Hope. As always, a wonderful bit of information for the people that it matters to. I want to say kudos for there being a place for someone to come that isn't so formal, so to speak, I guess.
Yes.
But on this subject, I have to tell you that of all people, Madonna, she said she was being interviewed about her daughter, and they said, "What's the number one thing you want to teach your daughter?" And she said, "Self-respect." And they said, "What's the number one thing you want to teach her about men?" And she said, "If I'm successful at self-respect, I won't have to about men." That stuck with me since I heard that. But then, we need to also teach the young ladies that the choice time. It's not wait till you're pregnant. You have pro-choice. You have a choice before.
Right.
Even get your clothes off. And in the end, it's pro-choice before conception and pro-life after. I've been through every level of this subject, and it's not easy on any of the levels. And I just want to say I'm glad that there's something that feels a little more approachable than damnation to get help.
Oh, Hope, thank you so much for calling in that encouragement. Really, that is something that means a lot to us because we like to say we're very woman-centered. I mean, sometimes a misconception might be that, there's judgment or that we are just all about the baby. Certainly, our hope is that she, choose life, but we also understand there's different circumstances. So when she comes in, she's safe. The ultrasound that she gets, I mean, people don't always understand that the heartbeat is seen and heard at about 6 weeks along, which is 2 weeks when she's late for her monthly cycle. And so that's a game changer. So thank you for that encouragement.
Thank you, Hope, for calling in. You always leave us with a little hope. So we appreciate that.
Well, you're hope brokers, right? Or what did you say?
Hope dealers.
Hope dealers?
Yeah. Hope dealers.
Okay, well, we're getting the main line right now then. Have a good day.
Thank you,
everybody.
dear.
But just teach the girls there's a choice before you get this far down the line.
That's
all.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have a blessed day?
A memorable
care, everybody.
story that
Bye-bye.
you might want to share?
I tell you, I have so many memorable
I know you
stories.
do. You have to.
I mean, yeah. Well, I'm just going to tell you what happened just yesterday,
Okay.
and but then I'd like to tell you a couple. But yesterday, a woman had an appointment, and I recognized the name, and when I met her the first time, she was certainly abortion minded. This time, she called for another pregnant. I mean, she changed her mind. She chose life. She came in yesterday, and she's married now, and this was 3 or 4 years ago that her first pregnancy. But she came in and we just looked at each other and hugged, and she had her little 3-year-old boy. And actually, something really interesting happened. So when I meet these babies that may not have been here had they not come through the pregnancy center doors, that makes I just can't tell you what a privilege it is to be a small part of that story. But this little boy, he came up to me and hugged me, and the head on the shoulder, hard hug, he knew me. And, it was our first time meeting. So those moments are so special. Thankfully, a coworker snapped a snapshot. But there's a couple. There's one, I'll call her Amber. It's not her real name, but she came in and she was very abortion minded. She was in an abusive relationship. And, she was set on abortion. She thought that was her only way of escaping that relationships. But she had an ultrasound, and said, I can't do this. The baby's heart's beating. And so we got to work, and we helped relocate her to another state where she had family. And she went out there, and she was there for about 6 months and made an adoption plan. She placed that baby into the arms of a very loving family, and it's been about a year. She has been back to visit for his first birthday, and that family for Christmas and for his first birthday. And so she has an open adoption, and she is like showing us pictures like she's this proud mama, and they call her, Mama Amber. And anyway, so that's one that stays with us because, when we get that long term, when they're keep their contact with us. I mean, I have clients that, because I've been in the ministry this long, on Facebook or whatever social media, I see these babies grow. I've got high school football players, and and then there's another one that's fairly recent. We had a woman, and this is something that a lot of people don't know, that our doctor, Dr. Katie Collins, our medical director, it can't. So if a woman takes the abortion pill, and this works too. The abortion pill, they take the first set of pills at the abortion clinic, and then they're sent home with a second set of pills, which they take it home, and the procedure completes. If they change their mind between the first set of pills before or after the first set before the second set, it may not be too late. And so our doctor prescribes the abortion pill reversal if they contact us.
Wow.
And we have had, I think, 5 or 6 that have reached out to us. It's about 60% effective. So it's not 100%, but in that vein, it's been about, I think, out of 5 or 6, there's been 3 or 4 that have, but one in particular was a set of twin boys, and she's keeping us up to date. And then another abortion pill reversal is in our Hope program, and I got to hold him and this little perfect dimple in his chin, and I'm like, he's a miracle.
Yeah.
Well,
to show how old I am, my daughter came down with the measles, and my mother couldn't remember whether I'd had them or not. And so she wanted me to go to England to get this abortion. And I thought, there is no way.
Wow. Yeah.
There's just no way.
Yeah.
And I look at my son today and I think,
That was close.
oh,
Yeah.
why I couldn't have done it.
Yeah. In all my thousands of clients over 30 plus years, I have never had one regret giving her baby life.
Yeah.
There's not been one. There's been many who've regretted the abortion.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
in fact, interestingly, I've had clients who, they're in a situation, they think abortion is the best option. They opt for that option. And they may come back 3 months later, pregnant, in the same situation. But this one, they're planning on keeping. And nothing really has changed in their circumstances.
Yeah.
It's just maybe they feel this sense that they need to replace that baby. I don't know. But that's just a phenomenon that
I can't imagine doing that.
Yeah.
To me, the greatest gift in life was
my.
children.
Oh my, right.
Yeah.
Even in the hard, it's like this, even in the hard time, like when you put it on a scale, it doesn't even.
Yeah.
Oh,
Doesn't even compute.
No.
Tell us, you mentioned something called the Hope program.
Yes.
So you tweaked my listening ears with that word. Well, we're going to go on break. When we get back from break, we're going to talk to you about the Hope program
love
that
to
you
share.
have at the Community Pregnancy Resource Center. And no, Hope, it's not about you, but it could be, because there is that word again, hope, which is so delightful. But I'm anxious to hear about that and to hear what that means. So get ready. Keep listening. You are listening to Community Centered here on 105.9 WSIC with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle and our guest, Tracy Lester.
Spotlight and kindness, one story at a time. It's community-centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle. Presented by the Macintosh Law Firm on WSIC.
Well, just in time for the 4th of July weekend, our weather going to shift to a drier pattern. In the meantime, still some hurdles to jump over. For our Tuesday, we're partly cloudy, warming up into the low 90s, but we'll keep an eye out in the afternoon for scattered showers and thunderstorms as a cold front pushes through. A couple of those could be on the strong or even severe side, and a pop-up thunderstorm chance for our Wednesday. Then we're dry and hot, low 90s. We head into the 4th of July weekend. That's your forecast. The WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. The Exchange Club of Mooresville presents the annual Field of Flags this week, Tuesday through Saturday at Lowe's YMCA. The field commemorates our veterans, service members, and first responders. The summer celebration featuring a ceremony, a concert by area favorite Blue Monday, and fireworks will be held on Thursday, July 3rd. Flags are on sale now. Visit MooresvilleLKNExchange.org to make your purchase and for more information about the Field of Flags and the summer celebration Thursday at Lowe's YMCA in Mooresville. Run White and Blue is a run hosted in Huntersville on Friday. There are different options, including 7.4 kilometers, 7.4 miles, and a fun run. The race begins at 7:30 a.m. Visit runsignup.com for details. Friday, July 4th is the annual celebration at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. The event begins at 10 a.m. and features a bike parade around the Birkdale Commons Parkway. Then enjoy the Wet Down by the Huntersville Fire Department. And a block party with exciting activities follows. We'll see you on Friday for the 4th of July in the village. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday with a performance by Walter Finley. Finley offers a soulful rhythm with his smooth vocals in his 6 p.m. show. Visit the 500 Club online for more information on Walter Finley, food, beverages, and tea times. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is at Charlotte Motor Speedway for race number 7 on Tuesday, July 9th. Come celebrate Lugnut's birthday. Bring Lugnut a toy donation and get in free. Click on charlottemotorspeedway.com for more information on the Summer Shootout and other 2025 events. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Real people making a real impact. The Macintosh Law Firm brings you community-centered, right here on WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back. We were just getting into one of your programs, which is Hope.
That's right. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So when a woman comes to the pregnancy center and she does decide to have her baby, we know that that's kind of when the hard work begins. You know, that's often when the hard work begins. So we establish a program called Hope that really walks alongside of them through their pregnancy and beyond. So they work one-on-one with one of our advocates and kind of preparing them for motherhood. They do that for the first part of their pregnancy. And if they complete those 4 meetings, they can earn a brand new car seat or a brand new bassinet. So that's kind of the incentive for that. Then when they are about 7 months, they can join our group. And they're able to stay in that between 6 months and a year, just depending on their situation. But we meet once a month and with other young moms. And,
I think that's wonderful.
It is.
Great.
They are, they get that mentorship component. Churches in the community adopt that evening. And so what they do with that, they provide them dinner. And really it's just designed just to be fellowship. There's no classroom component on that because we know women don't want to come and sit in a classroom.
No.
There is an educational component that they do from home. There's class, like just some videos, and so we can see when they complete those. And if they complete those 3, it's only on their own time, according to their schedule. They can shop. We call it shopping. Everything's free in our boutique, and the boutique has everything. I mean, there should be no baby in Lake Norman that is not well dressed. People in our community are so generous, and so this beautiful boutique with baby items, baby clothes, diapers, wipes, large items. So they're able to come and get those things and fellowship and food fellowship and shopping and how, that's perfect. And so, like I said, they're able to stay in that, for up to a year. And
I think that is amazing.
It's such a good thing because, again,
it's a very lonely time.
Very lonely.
And scary.
Mm-hmm. So stop bringing your baby items to Hope House and bring them to the community pregnancy center. That's where they can use them. We refer everybody to you because if we don't have an infant or a baby on site, which Margie one time with me put out an SOS when we got one, and immediately by later that night, everything, the crib, the changing time, everything was there. But we appreciate people doing that, but a greater need can be served there, obviously, with your boutique. So we love that.
Thank you. Well, we take baby clothes up to 24 months, maternity items. We don't take used car seats, cribs, or breast pumps because of just,
Well, that makes sense.
Just kind of knowing the history and for, of those items. So anyway, and then there is one program that I just don't want to neglect to highlight. And, there are a lot of women in our lives, in our churches, in our community that have had abortions and they may be struggling. That wound can be so deep that it can, sometimes there's a sense of relief after an abortion, but that doesn't last. And so there's kind of a trauma, involved in that for some women. And so we have our Healed ministry. And Healed is working a Bible study that we work through, and it's led by women who've had abortions, and they know what it takes to take that healing journey. It's confidential, it's gentle, and it's one of the most beautiful things we do at the center.
I've been listening to you, and I'm enjoying referring to the program as a ministry as opposed to a mission or a non-for-profit, right? Because that's generally how Margie and I talk in circles about that, but that you've said ministry, and I'm imagining the compassionate care that everyone is receiving in your hands, and I value that. I think that's really important that you've created safe space and community around that ministry.
Are you taking volunteers?
So we're always taking volunteers. So we have, and our volunteers are everything from, they can volunteer from once a week to once a year, for working, volunteers. We have fundraisers every year that they can participate in assisting with. We always need church contacts. If you're in a church and we don't have a contact with you, we are not government funded. Okay. We're strictly churches, individuals, businesses, and then our 3 fundraisers a year. And so,
And do you have a fundraiser coming up?
The next fundraiser is our Walk for Life. We just had our banquet. 400 and almost 500 people in attendance, and our keynote speaker was Dr. Ben Carson, and that was wonderful. And so, our Walk for Life is just a fun event where families come out and we have a lot of fun. We walk. They get sponsors, and it's just a really fun Saturday morning.
Wow. Okay.
That's 400 to 500 people at a fundraiser is no nothing to sneeze at. That's pretty amazing. And Dr. Penn Carson, he was amazing.
Yeah,
so
it was great.
We applaud the work that you're doing and celebrate that. So I'm imagining someone might be listening, and she's saying to herself, "Well, do I just walk in? Do I have to make an appointment? Do I call?" Walk us through what that feels like.
Sure. So the very first thing I would recommend is to call us. Some of the things that we can, some of the ways we can kind of assess her situation is, asking some really good questions and finding out, is she planning on parenting? Is she planning on abortion? Or is she undecided? From there, we would schedule her an appointment with, like you said, very compassionate, understanding, non-judgmental, just how can we help you? And so she, we schedule that appointment. She comes in for a pregnancy test, free, and then a free ultrasound. And that, like I said, is just one of the most profound things that happens there. I mean, we're seeing babies moving, and they're just like, "What? I had no idea, that my baby's heart was beating already." Nobody told her that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way. But the best thing to do is to call. We don't take walk-ins as much because we really want to make sure that we're serving them well, and that the person we assign to them is a good match. And
so if somebody is pregnant and thinking about giving it up for adoption, would they call you?
Well, so they can certainly call us. We don't work with any one agency.
Okay.
And we do that because we don't want it to appear that there's a conflict of interest, so we tell them we have 3 that we know are reputable, but we encourage them, go if you, and any client that comes to us, they get presented all 3 options, parenting, adoption, and abortion.
Yeah.
We don't provide or refer for abortion, but we do let them know the risks that go along with that. And our doctor can answer any questions. But to answer your question about adoption, if a client of mine is that's even an option she wants to explore, I tell her, we have nothing to gain in any decision that you make regarding your pregnancy.
That's right. Yeah.
But if you want to explore that option, I'll go with you to any agency,
Nice.
and I will be like, I'm here for her. I'm her advocate.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
Really nice.
yeah.
Do you, I might be putting you on the spot with this, but do you know how many numbers do you serve annually?
Oh my goodness, that is on the spot because I'm so not a numbers girl. Oh my
Just make it up.
goodness.
Just say
But
a
I can
lot,
tell you,
a
okay,
lot.
a lot. But I can tell you, so this is a good number. 120 women who were actively seeking abortion last year chose life.
Yay.
Oh, good.
Yay,
Yeah,
you.
just last year.
Yeah.
So, that I know. But
I think that's incredible. Back
I
in the
do
day,
too.
back in the way day, when I was first starting my career, I worked at a place where we had the highest teenage pregnancy rate in the nation. And actually, Oprah Winfrey wanted to come and do a show on it because it was kind of astounding. And so our youngest client was 9 who was pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
She unfortunately lost the baby, but it's real.
Yeah.
It's happening out there that people, and what we hear from the domestic violence side of it, right, is that like during COVID, exponentially these numbers grew because of people being stuck inside. So more people got pregnant, more people were experiencing domestic violence or trauma. So I think that it's amazing that you're the resource, and that it makes me feel better knowing you're there.
Yeah.
And it's an information that we can give to other people and to let
True
our community
gift.
know.
I love it.
Yeah.
I do.
That
And I
you're-
love every, that's our thing. Any woman who walks through our doors must feel loved.
Yeah.
It just, it's, and like I said, our staff is amazing,
Well, if you've ever needed to feel that way, it's if
Mhm.
you're in a situation like pregnant and you don't want to be.
Yes.
I can't imagine because
Yeah.
I've not been there. But
But the way, and I always let them know the way you feel when you first find out and the way you feel in 9 months is going to be very different. And that goes for your parents or your family, or, there may be a reaction that, this is not a good situation. But again, give grace, knowing that how you feel and how they feel is very different. Thankfully, baby's not coming tomorrow. And so we have some time.
Yes. Tracy Lester, we want to applaud the work that you're
thank
doing
you
in our
so
community.
much.
Thank you for being our guest here
Oh,
today
thank
on
you so
Community
much for your
Centered.
invitation.
And we hope that there are more lives that are spared because of you. So well done.
Thank you so much.
thank you.
You're listening to Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle. We'll see you next week.
Serving you better than ever before. WSIC, Statesville, W290DK Mooresville, W2